Hello, Croiso, and welcome back to the Cymru Nerd Cave. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing well. It's a bit of a sad one, this one, because we are going to be playing a Spectrum game, because sadly we did lose one of the pioneers of British computing yesterday at the age of 81. Sir Clive Sinclair sadly passed away. Sir Clive Sinclair, if you don't know who he was an entrepreneur, a futurist, an inventor, came up with, among other things, the ZX Spectrum, the ZX81, the Sinclair C5 personal conveyance, shall we say, and lots of other things. He was the inventor, or the guy who brought the personal calculator to bear, the portable calculator, and had a vision of the ordinary person, the man on the street, as it were, being able to have access to computers, which, to be honest, they didn't have prior to him and a few others coming along. It was a case of big business and science and lots of other industries were able to afford computers. He brought the prices down. He made it accessible. I mean, you could get a computer from him for about £199. Not bad. I mean, expensive for the time still, but still less expensive than the thousands of pounds that you were expected to pay. And he brought in the hobby market, basically, and thousands of hobby kids were able to code their own games and make their own little cottage industries because of the ease of the Sinclair computer to be able to do it. And obviously there were other computers as well that allowed it, but Sinclair was quite an important one, and lots of people, like I say, grew up in that industry and now work as computers, as computers in the computing industry because of Sir Clive Sinclair. So this is a tiny little tribute to him, and possibly I will be doing more Sinclair games, because why not? I bloody love the Spectrum. It's one of my favourite systems, and the one I grew up with primarily. I do like to say, obviously Master System was my first console. Totally was my first console, but my first computer was a ZX Spectrum Plus 2, which was on the Amstrad scale rather than anything else, but still a Spectrum. What game will we be playing, Glenn? I hear you say. Well, we're going to be playing one of my favourite ones, Ghostbusters. Yes, I know I've played it on the Master System, but this is the one that I played it on first. So we will select keyboard controls, and now it's going to tell me what the keyboard functions are. So Q, A, O, P and Z. Lovely stuff. And yes, it's going to tell me all this. I mean, it's great, isn't it? Enough of that. And there we go to the screen, which we do have on the Master System as well. So I do need to state my name. This is not my name, by the way. Oops. Cap, shift, delete, do, moo. Glenn Moo. Why not? We don't have an account. If you have an account, you'll have a code, and you put that in and it remembers your last game. No save states, because of course not. So it will grant us £10,000. And are we going to get the compact, a 63 Hz station wagon and the high performance vehicle? Well, come on now. We know what we're getting. We're getting the Hz, so let's not even mess around with this. 90% of this game is set up, I have to say. This is not as quick and snappy as the Master System game, but that's what you do. Now, obviously, you're going to get the PK energy detector. The image intensifier you're going to get as well, otherwise everything's going to be flickering in and out. And the marshmallow sensor, so you know when Stay Puft is coming. Then you press number 2 and it gives you the second one. I'm not going to go on to number 3 because number 3 is literally just the storage unit. So you don't have to go back for traps. So we've got the ghost bait. 3 traps is the usual configuration that you're going to have. So let's get 3. Unlike the Master System game, you probably will get more than 3 traps worth of stuff before you have to go to see Zool. More on that in a second. The Ghost Vacuum is a vacuum cleaner. It's literally a vacuum cleaner. And we'll call it a day there. One thing you will notice is that there's no soundtrack on this. You do not have, unlike the Master System game, a soundtrack. The other thing you don't have is the stage where you have to avoid cars and avoid roadblocks and things like that. Nah, not in this version. It's really pared down. If you do freeze ghosts, then you will get ghosts to capture. It makes no difference to anything. But really, you're just driving about. Occasionally, you go to the side so you can see the right-hand side of Ecto 1 turn yellow, and that's basically it. So what you get is a series of these screens, different every time. This is sort of Sedgwick Hotel based. 2 little stick men. Position them as you normally would, and then capture your ghost. I do love the fact the trap is just a big trap, and you do hear David Aubrey Jones say Ghostbusters very occasionally. $700 for that one. And if you go down here, then you will see the house turned pink, the block turned pink. There you go. Ecto 1's turned yellow. Just the top right hand side there, like you can see. It's very slow paced, is this. It does get frantic towards the end, but really it does take a good while to get going. I guess that's why I've got such good memories of this, because it takes 5 minutes to load. But my God, do you get some stuff out of it. Yeah, and if it turns pink, it doesn't necessarily mean there's a ghost there, so maybe you've got to click on it a few times. But you do get to see the different buildings, and they're basically the same as you go through, but they're different colours, and it's always nice to see the Spectrum's colour palette get used. There we go. Now sometimes you will, quite frankly, have a really easy time of it capturing the ghosts. They will be very, very easy to capture, and then other times not so much. Will we point out here where the ghost symbol is, there's a lock. That's the gatekeeper. And there's a key up here on Park Avenue. That's the keymaster. You touch any of the ghosts up here, floating across the screen to Zool, and they freeze. It makes no difference to anything. Like I say, this is 8-bit, but it's Spectrum 8-bit. It is pared down like you wouldn't believe. And really, a lot of your time is just spent floating around trying to find a ghost to capture, and it's not always going to happen. It's going to do it in its own sweet time. You're not always going to find them, but like I say, the saving grace is that in the Master System version, all this driving about means that you'll be spending ages on the driving screen. Not so on this version at all. There we go, there's one. You'll be spending the same amount of time while it figures it out and thinks about it and comes up. There we go, here's a ghost. You suck it into the ghost vacuum. It generally waits until you've sucked up all the ghosts. Sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, they did do a version of the real Ghostbusters as well, and Ghostbusters 2, which I've only played a little bit because when I had it as a kid, it wouldn't load. It was terrible. It just would not load at all, and that, sadly, was the fate of some Spectrum games, especially if your system was a bit older. The tape player didn't want to recognise it, then you've shit out, lads. Have we got one? No, but you can see all the different buildings that you're going around the block. So basically, I just like to think you're going around the block. You detected a ghost, and you're just looking for the ghost. No, not finding him, but there's one there somewhere. I like the green one. There he is. And it's always a Slimer. Like I say, in other systems, you do get different type of ghost. In this, it's always Slimer that you get. And you only get 3 Ghostbusters, so if they do get slimed... No, I don't think you're going to get him. No, you're going to see a first slime him. He slimed me. That does mean that the PKE does go up, though, because at the moment it's 279. And every time you miss a ghost, you lose a Ghostbuster. So I've got 1 trap left, 1 Ghostbuster. 2 Ghostbusters, should I say. And, yeah. The PKE goes up. And it does, like I say, when it all kicks off, it really kicks off. There you go. So yeah, it's just jumped up there to 623 from 27. So it jumped up 400. Like I say, it starts kicking off, and it starts kicking off pretty bloody quickly. So you've got to be ready at the end. The other thing is that when you do go to see Zool, all you have to do is get past Marshmallow Man. You don't get any of that going upstairs business and having to avoid ghosts and whatnot. Nope, none of that. So that was a shock to the system when I first saw that, because obviously I just assumed that all versions were going to be the same as the Spectrum version, and of course not. The Spectrum version was running on Steam and Good Wishes, because this is 48k, by the way. This is a very old game. This is from 1984, so this is nearly 40 years old. So anybody who goes on about, oh, well, you know, it's a bit rubbish, it looks rubbish, it's slow, it underperforms, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, I mean... It's from 1980. It's literally from 1984. There he is. The fact that it runs at all is astounding. But like I say, this is all we had. I do want to take it to the end, though. I do want to sort of stick it out, if I can. That would be good. Try to get to the end. It's a bit difficult, because like I say, there's no sound effects. Gotcha! There's no sound effects apart from the synthesized speech, which I'm guessing took all the memory it had, and that's your lot, lads, basically. Okay, back to base, because there's nothing we can do. We filled all our traps. We've only got 2 Ghostbusters left, but we do have $3,100, which is, you know, not too bad. We're making it back slowly but surely. The problem is you never get as much money on a shout that you've found yourself than if you actually get a call, and the calls don't start coming in until everything starts kicking off. So again, another, I suppose it's not a bad thing about the game, it's something to do, but the fact that you have to go around finding your own shout sometimes is a bit of a problem. Oh, there's a couple there. And yes, I always go into the middle because it's something to do. On this side here, there you go. That side of the Ecto one. Oh, let's suck you up. Yep, makes no difference whatsoever. And I don't think if you actually get on the shout, it actually makes a difference either. No. And we haven't found a ghost. Oh no. One of these is gonna start flashing in a minute, I think. There we go. So at 3100, let's see if we can capture this Slimer. Did any of you guys play this version of Ghostbusters as a kid? Which version did you play? Did you play the C64? I'm told that's pretty good. I'm often told that this is one of the worst ones, and I don't agree at all. Especially when you're not an 11-year-old kid, you don't think it's rubbish. You think you're being a Ghostbuster. It's one of those things which can get by on the goodwill of the franchise. This is a bit tedious, though, whenever the Slimers decide to do this, because you've got a choice, basically. You either wait for him to... Gotcha. You wait for him to go into the trap, or if you get really bored, what you don't want to do is turn your beams on, because it will take away your beam power, but it won't let you know how far into your beam power you are. I got $1,000 for that shout, by the way. So we've got an actual call. You tend to get more on a call. It depends how stingy they are. You do get them the stingy. If you can also look at the City PK energy as well, that is starting to creep up a bit quicker than it was doing. Things are starting to kick off, so you will get a minute where you get multiple shouts and you won't be able to get to them all. Or you'll have one and you'll have no traps or no Ghostbusters. Oh, I've got him. There we go. Excellent stuff. When you're a kid, well, when I was a kid, I was rubbish at this game for the longest time. And then I didn't play it for like years and years and years. Oh, we got another one. Didn't play it for years and years, and then came back to it. And then all of a sudden, it's like riding a bike. It just came back to me. But as a kid, I bloody loved Ghostbusters. As I've been saying, as I've been doing Ecto 1, I really, really loved Ghostbusters. It was seriously my favourite thing. That, Transformers and He-Man, they were my things, man. And I had books and all kinds of colouring books. And oh, look, how pleasant is that? The teal and the purple. I bloody love the Spectrum colour palette. It is limited, but it is bright. I mean, that's why they call it the Spectrum. And the graphics aren't bad for 8-bit graphics. Yes, they're simple. It's 48k. Oh, just. 700, by the way, I got for that last one. How much do I get for this one? 800? No, 600. Stingy gits. 700. No, yeah, 400. Yeah, 3, 4. Yeah, yeah. Say 800. That's not too bad, I guess. Math is not my strong point. But here we go. Refresh the traps. The light is green, the trap is green. And it doesn't look much like the firehouse, it has to be said. But there you go. Oops. Should I do this one first? Yeah, let's do this one first. Don't get more than 800 bloody quid. Because what you need to do, you need to make more than 10 grand. At least you're doing the Master System version. I forget this version. I think you still have to make more than 10 grand, more than you started out with. Which ain't always easy, especially when you're not very good at the game like I wasn't initially. I tell you something, if you try and play it with a joystick, it's almost impossible. The Spectrum never had... I mean, they had the Kempston. I've never once seen a Kempston joystick. I know the name. I know that they used them a lot. I do not remember ever seeing a Kempston joystick in the wild. And the one you got with the pack was the Amstrad crappy one. It was terrible. There's another one. But yeah, the one you actually got wasn't worth having. It really wasn't. It was so bad. There you go. You get a lot more pink houses now. It's strange that they did pink as the colour of Imminent Ghosts, because obviously this is way before Ghostbusters 2. And the pink mood slime and all that kind of stuff, which I always thought was great. I like the idea of the pink slime, or different coloured slime does different things. Obviously green is this sort of default, and that's the one that you go to for most ghosties. And then they got black slime in Ghostbusters the video game, which is the Gozerian slime, which that's the one that causes portals to open and things. But pink for mood. I think that's something they could explore more. I don't know what they're going to do in Afterlife. I know it's going to be Gozer based. They're going to basically close the book on that and then hopefully have more sequels, I'm guessing is the plan. I hope so. Use this as, you know, sort of the jumping off point, kind of like they did the Star Trek films. Maybe get Ray in there and Pete and Winston, possibly Egon. I reckon Egon's going to turn up as a ghost. You just have to CGI him, but they can do that with, you know, library footage or whatever. We'll have to see. Oh, this will be my third shout of not. 7,400 we're on now. That's not bad. That's quite good. But like I say, you know, when you're a kid, you just want to play Ghostbusters. And there were very few Ghostbusters games about. They had that real Ghostbusters game from Data East, which isn't a Ghostbusters game at all in reality. It's some Japanese game they repurposed. And that's alright. It was alright in the arcade anyway. It was rubbish on the Spectrum, I seem to remember. It's been a long time since I've played it. This at least gives you a bit of a Ghostbusters experience. That one on the Spectrum, which is too slow. Oh, no, it's going to get slimed. That's alright. So I expect that to take a bit of a hit. But yeah, the Data East one, 'twas not good. 'Twas not good at all. And yet, I really enjoyed playing the arcade game as a kid. That was a super fun time. But that game was not fun at all. Here we go. Now, oh, there's pink ones popping up all over the place though. No. Spend half your time clicking on buildings and trying to... There we go. So we've only got one trap and one Ghostbuster, so either way we're going back after this one. I think we're going back with one less trap. Okay, let's... He's not going to go, I don't think. Because the problem is... across the streams. I know. That's one way you can get out of not having to wait for the beam power to go out. Because I messed up there, frankly. You cross the streams, and all it means, it just shorts out your backpacks instead of causing particle reversal. Total protonic reversal. It doesn't cause that. It just shorts out your backpacks. So, yeah. But already this is a much longer experience than the Master System game. Because I guess it's on a console as well. And they sort of, you know, it's a different crowd that you're looking at. And a different time. I mean, that Ghostbusters game, I think, was produced a lot later. I think it was sort of 3 or 4 years later than this. This was already old by the time that came out in game terms. But they had more time to work on it. It was based on a different thing called Car Wars, whereas this wasn't based on that, I don't think, at all. Or it might have been, but it certainly wasn't used. You can probably hear them doing the grass outside as well, so I do apologise for that. There's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. Okie dokie. Come into my parlour, said the spider to the fly. Come into my trap, said the Ghostbuster to the Slimer. He's not gonna play ball, is he? Well, I'm not pressing the beams until he's... There we go. Here we go. Gotcha. Okie dokie. So we're at 8,000 now as well, and 8 grand. We're nearly sort of hitting our 10 grand area. But I think around 2,000 it starts going up quite steeply. So in the 1980s now, ironically. What do you guys think to Ghostbusters the game? I was watching it earlier on. I've got it, but I was actually watching the sort of the video of the film of the game almost online on YouTube. What do you guys think of that? It's alright. It ends abruptly. I know that. Doesn't have a really proper ending, which is a shame, but what can you do? And we just waited around. There we go, there's the slime. I know we've already got one, so this is our second. See if we can make 10 grand before it all starts going loopy. Come on, just a bit to the left. There we go. Gotcha. And we have made 1,000. Hey. Ah, we moved. When you move a little bit, then it makes you do the driving scene again. Not for long, but it does. There we go. Let's catch another slide. Maybe we're being too efficient. Maybe we're doing this too well. And keeping the PKE energy down so that we don't see Marshmallow Man and we don't see Zool. There we go. Maybe that's it. But regardless. There we go. So, obviously I want to do more Spectrum games. What other games would you like me to take on, if that is the case? And sort of put Spectrum in the mix as well. So that's all my childhood systems and teenage systems in. I want to try if it'll see if I can get an emulator that'll do Saturn as well, you know. But they're all new to me. But Spectrum specifically, what would you like me to tackle? What would you like me to have a look at? Because I'd be interested to know. Oops. I hope I'm on the way to the right place. Otherwise, that's going to be a bit rubbish, isn't it? But, yeah. Because there's got to be... Oh, just update as well. We're on 99,000. But we won't get up to 10,000 by not finding a ghost there. Here we go. Let's see if we get up to 10,000 and see what happens when we do. See if it starts going mental when we do. There we go. Oh, big moment. Hey, we're on 10,900. I'm trying to ignore as much as possible the ghost going to Zool, trying to let them go because it's a ball ache when they don't. And we're going up to 2160. There's a point, and I forget what the point is. And it's sort of like a tipping point. It just starts going up and up and up and up and up. And you start getting Marshmallow Man coming, and every one of the buildings just starts going off, and it's panicky. You've got to decide where you're going to go and lay the ghost bit whenever Stay Puft appears. And yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there rapidly to that point. No. There we go. Another slime up. I suppose it'd be better if I stopped catching ghosts, wouldn't it? But that wouldn't really be in the spirit of the thing. There we go. I'm getting cocky now. That's the problem. I'm getting very cocky now. Let's try and avoid... Oh, there we go. Oh, no choice. We've got to get him, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's starting to... Here we go now. We are starting to get into the realms of it getting a bit more mental. Okie dokie. There's a yellow ghost. There we go. I just wish it wasn't piss yellow. But it's sort of a dark, shady yellow, and I don't like it. I think this might be the last one before I have to go replenish. I might go replenish anyway. Let's do that anyway. Come on. Oh, we got an awkward one, lads. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Just wasting my time at this point, aren't you? The PK energy is really slowed as well because it's trying to see what I'm... Nah, I'm not going to get him. I'm not going to get him. I'm going to give him one last try to come anywhere near me. I don't think he's going to do it. So the beam power is going to go in a minute as well. Shall I just let him slime me? Oh no! Oh, that was spawning, wasn't it? That was a bit lucky. I'm on $12,500 as well. So we're doing all right. Right in the middle. We're doing okay. money-wise, so it will definitely give me a code for the next time, which I probably won't use. But there you go. Okie doke. Right. Let's have a look, see what we can see. So we've got two here. Oh, one's that's just started flashing, so we've got a definite shout there. Like I say, you do get more money for definite shouts, and as they flash more, the price of them does go up. But it is completely arbitrary. There's no sort of rhyme or reason to any of it, because it's a Spectrum game from the 80s. Therefore, rhyme and reason are totally alien concepts. You get what you get. And some you get $100, and some you get $5,000. Should be all $5,000, because that's how much they charged to Sedgwick, isn't it? Or $7,000, I think it was, in the end. Okay. Oh, no, I missed him. Oh, no, I wasn't lucky that time. Gonna get slimed. Never mind. That's a shame. But not to worry, we've got one right underneath it. There we go. And because I missed that one, then the PK energy will go up a bit more. So that might help us out in the end. Like I say, it's a bit longer than the Master System game, isn't it? Oh, no. Now the AI's getting a bit more wily and I'm getting a bit cocky. So I'll have to go back now. I've only got one Ghostbuster left, which means I've got to go back to base. And I missed out on 2 ghosts. That's annoying, but that's the game, you see. It's the AI starts getting a bit tricksy after a while and starts going, oh, well, he's going to do this. And it works you out. It's not the greatest AI in the world, because of course it isn't. It's 48k. But it does work it out. It's a little bit cunning. Okay. Let's go around and see if we can find... Oh, there's a couple. Yeah, look, if you can see, that a lot of them are starting to turn pink now. So they're all going to start flashing soon. And the peak energy, if you notice, it's clocking up at a much more quicker rate. And all of a sudden, it's just going to go... and level up to like 10,000 and then 100,000 and... Yeah, it's a stark transformation from where it is to where it's going to be. I just wish it'd do it sooner rather than later. But, you know, this is a long-ass game. Come on. It doesn't help when the Slimers don't want to go in the trap. Come on, mate. Just accept your fate, isn't it? Come on. Oh, he's so close then. There we go. Get in that trap. Twat. Based on John Belushi, you know. It wasn't originally. He was going to be one of the big bad guys, wasn't he, Mr. Onion Head? And then John Belushi passed away, and Aykroyd used him to serve as a... It's not actually Belushi himself, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Bluto off Animal House. So Bluto died and became Slimer. Of course, in the comics, they tried to give him a different origin and call him... He was once King Remmels, who was an overeater and a glutton. And he died and then became Slimer. And found his way to New York. They don't specify where he was from originally. But he eventually found his way to New York. And became the ugly green blob we all know and love. I hope he's in Afterlife. I'm assuming he probably will be. A version of him was in the 2016 film. But it wasn't really him. He was quite a bit nastier as well. For some reason, that they tended not to want to give him a nice personality like Slimer has. So they made him a bit of a dick in the in that film. Because I guess he's based. But even then, movie Slimer was quite nice in Ghostbusters too. I have a shout, but I can't go to it yet because I've got no traps. I've used them all. But I'm on £15,000. Dollars. Pounds. Pounds and ounces. Topical. I'm going to get hate for that from all the Brexiteers. They're all going to be in my mentions now. Oh, you Remainers. Okie dokie. Let us see. Yeah, it's starting to kick off now. Here we go. All these ones are going to start flashing soon. Yeah, here we go. So we're on nearly 3,500 for the PK Energy. Starting to turn into the Twinkie. What about the Twinkie? Okie dokie. So we're starting to get into the interesting bit of the game. And yeah, it just kicks off and you can't cope with it. And it's really manic. More manic than the Master System game or any other version I've played. And you can't keep up. And it knows you can't. And it thinks it's funny. So it starts piling stuff on. I do apologise. There's a lot of noise outside. I don't know what they're doing. There we go. Oh, there we go. One at the bottom we need to go get. Okie dokie. It's the sound of New York. That's what I'm going to claim it as. It's the sound of New York outside. Look at me. Beep, 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 beep. Hey, forget about it. Get walking here. Etc. Steam coming out of it. Just imagine steam coming out of here. And alligators in the sewers. And that is startlingly loud. I'd love to know what they're doing, but that involves me looking outside and I'm not that interested. So, whatever, innit? Okie dokie. So this is my second shout of this run. I only got $500 for that last one. Cheapskate. Come on. Come on. I'm walking here. Forget about it. Oh, mate. Come on. Yeah, that's sound of silence again. And all that has put the Slimer off and he won't go in the trap. Sons of bitches. Never mind, we have a shout up top, so let's go. We've got one Ghostbuster, two traps. Isn't that a musical? Starring James Corden. Don't like to say the name out loud too much. If you say it 5 times, he appears behind you and annoys you to death. Yeah. Come on now. You can do it. And we've already jumped up to 4,000 of the PK energy, so we're getting close to the magic number. It'll start going apeshit, basically. The other thing I wanted to know is, when did you guys first see Anne Ghostbusters thing? Was it the movie? Or was it the real Ghostbusters cartoon? Or was it Ghostbusters 2? Or was it something else? What made you first aware of the Ghostbusters, and when did you first see any of the movies? Oh, now I had hoped he'd come back. I've lost out there. And this really isn't where you want to be losing out, because this is not only the big box, you can see everything, but it's also going to add to the PK energy of the thing, and it's going to sort of take you close to Zool, which I guess that's what we want. Now, there are techniques for getting to Zool. I'm going to try one of those that I know, but it's not easy, because it is the end of the game. It's absolutely the end of the game. There is no other stage, whereas there's 2 more stages, which is why I guess that this stage doesn't last so long in the other games. But in this game, it lasts. This is it. This is your game. And yeah, I agree with people who say that it's simple and that it's a bit annoying that that's all there is. But that's all you had in 1984. You had very simple 4-level games that were rock hard, lasted forever, and were quite unforgiving. And that's what kept you coming back for more and more and more. Am I going to get him? Oh, just. So there's a real sense of achievement when you do actually beat these things. Because they don't want you to win. They don't expect you to win. And it's not a case of, like with a lot of them, their quarters. They want your quarters now. That turned white. When it turns white, when it starts flashing white, that means Stay Puft is nearby or he's on his way. So I reckon very, very soon we're going to have an appearance from Stay Puft. Now, thankfully, we've got the Ghost Bait, and hopefully I can get to it in time. Not that it makes a difference, because in the Mass System game, obviously, when Stay Puft comes, he wrecks some buildings, and it costs you money. Not in this. He wrecks some buildings, sure. But he does a bit of a stomp, and then he goes away, and then everybody goes, oh, well, never mind. It happens. But yeah, I seem to remember the actual machine I got, like I say, was the +2, which was by then. Oh, just. I think I have to go back. It was the +2, which had the data corder on the side. Oh, there he goes. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. Where is he? I'm going to wait around because he's on his way, his old Stay Puft. He's going to be there. Come on. No, I don't think so anymore. Oh well, I better get back to base because it's kicking off. Told you it would be. And you have to make a choice. But everything's turning white, which means that Stay Puft is definitely on the way. But sometimes he makes an appearance and sometimes he doesn't. He's certainly on the last screen. Okie dokie. So he's a coming. But I have to regenerate my Ghostbusters and my traps. So here we go. Great stuff. Oh. Ah, damn. What have I done? So he's going to come as soon as I... Oh, okay. I have to trap a ghost. But as soon as I've trapped this ghost, I think I might have missed Stay Puft this time. And I think he might have already trumped some buildings, which is annoying. There we go. But at least I've trapped a ghost. So let's see if I can... Ah... Yeah. I can't remember if it's space or one of those. Yeah. Backpack power at 96%. Where is he? No. I missed him. But there he is. There's Stay Puft. Tromping down some buildings. And yes, he does. It does cost you money if he does that. That's annoying. I forgot how to put the ghost bait down. It's been a while. Because we didn't stop him in time. I think you just press fire. I don't think you press anything else other than fire. We'll try. He'll pop up again. But that's Stay Puft anyway. That's what he's supposed to do. If you do it in time, you don't see him. He just disperses into 4 ghosts and goes about his business. A little bit annoyed at myself for that one, but never mind. We'll just have to catch some more ghosts. At least we were going over 10,000. But I don't think it's going to be that long till we actually have to go to see Zool. Oh, what? No. We're going to have to go back. I think. Yeah, okay. We've got one more chance. Oh, it's all going wrong. As I knew it would. No. I thought I was going to be quick on the draw with that one. Wasn't. Okie doke. Like I say, all kicking off now. Childhood trauma coming back. You feel it. The childhood trauma going, yeah. But there you go. Right. So we'll regenerate ourselves and then we will go out on some quick shouts. But yeah, I think it not long now until we'll be in the end game. Okay. Let's do it, boys. And girls. He's coming again soon. Everything's turning white. So as far as I can remember, you just press fire, which is the Z key. Hopefully, it won't be too long after this, so I can remake some of my money back. Funny that you can't slime me until you've failed. Right, there you go. Oh, so unfair. So unfair. They're congregating and they're turning white. So, oh, right after this it'll be. So let's see if we can get it done right after this one. Let's be prepared, right? Now there'll definitely be a ghost here. So we've got 3 free traps because that one was really unfair and wouldn't let me trap him. Oh, this is going to be the same as well. Come on. Come on. There you go. Here you go. Right in there. Right in there. Right in there. Oh! No. Right. Come on. You're going to... No. Ah. Oh, how annoying. Wouldn't let me do it. And now I've lost loads more money. Oh my god. I wonder if it's B. Wouldn't let me do it, even though I pressed fire. Never mind. Maybe you'll have all your backup men. Otherwise it won't let you do it. I'm guessing so. Oh. There we are. Let's see if we can get one more shot, get over 10,000, because I think if you don't get over 10,000, it won't let you go to Zool. Because it'll say you've not made your money back, so you're a bit crap. Better luck next time. As if that would happen in real life, you know? Zool goes, ah, no, sorry. Sorry, lads. You see how hard it gets, though? And how unfair the AI decides to be? Come on, mate, you're taking time now. Come on. But there's seriously no... There you go. No better way of doing it. Now, what I might do... There you go. There you go. Done it. You press B to drop it. I do remember. And then he goes to you and just disperses, and then we get awarded loads of money for saving the city. So it's funny how that just comes to you, because I'd not looked at the I just assumed, because obviously in the Master System version you just press fire. I think I might have lost him. Oh no, there you go, I've got him. But in this one, you've got to press B if you want to stop Zool. Not Zool, Marshmallow Man. Marshmallow disaster has been averted, as it says. Yeah, I was just holding off then. Didn't want to... So we're back up to nearly what we were. Just imagine how much money we'd have had we worked that out earlier on. I know some people have been shouting at the screen and saying, "You noob!" I'm not noob, I'm just old and knackered and forget things. Come on. There you go. Gotcha. What we could do with more Marshmallow Man, but I don't think we're going to get him again. Because all of a sudden it's going to shoot up and you're not going to believe how quickly it's going to go. And then it'll just, you've got to go to Zool. Because they, honestly, I believe, just read the first bit of the script and assumed Zool was the main bad guy. See, we should talk about that, really. Because I know a lot of people get a bit narky that Winston's not included. Well, I don't think they read that far into the script, quite honestly. Some of them, I honestly believe, saw the poster, saw the outline, and that was it. And then they made the game based on that. Because it was brought out devilishly close to when the film came out. Because that's what they did. They didn't have 2 or 3 years of development. They had 6 weeks. And they were told, yeah, make this. So you do get claims of racism and non-diversity. And no, they weren't even thinking. They weren't thinking that far ahead, frankly. They were just thinking 6 weeks ahead. They need to make this game and code it really, really quickly. It's not like that now, thankfully. You know, they do take time. But movie games have always been bobbins. There's very few movie games out there that aren't, you know, that are great. That's just the way of the world. This one is better than most. At least it kind of understands the main thing. And it's not... I don't think it's supposed to be Venkman and all that particularly. It's supposed to be your own franchise. Just happens to be in New York. So it's kind of in an alternate universe. Kind of like Ghostbusters 2016. In this weird alternate universe where things are a bit screwy. And those 3 scientists never did what they did. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Phew. I think we've got to go back to the to the Ghostbusters fire station as well. So let's do that. And I think pretty much we're going to have Zool, Stay Puft back as well. It's taking a while, isn't it? It's not as zippy as the old one, as the Master System one that we did. It's a little bit more involved. Come on. One more go for Stay Puft. Because that dude, whoever it was, only gave about $500. Stingy. Stingy, stingy, stingy. Let's see if this customer... Well, if we catch the ghost, let's see if this customer gives a bit more money, shall we? Because we're getting to the end of the game. Look at him. The cocky shite. Come on. Come on. And hitting him won't do dick all, by the way. So if anybody says, oh, you need to hit him with the beam, won't do dick all. It's the beam is there just to stop him kind of getting out. But even then, that won't really stop him. You've got to hit the trap almost as soon as you put the beams out, because he will get out of those beams really easily. Here we go. It just basically just to hem him in. They've seen that part of the movie clearly, but not understood that actually hitting him with the particle beam is what knocks him out in the first place. Okay, so we're expecting Stay Puft very soon. Better get to actual shouts, haven't we? Oh, they've all gone. Not white anymore. And when it isn't white, then he ain't coming. But it is climbing up as the old PK energy, getting to that magic 10,000, which I think is when it all goes mental. But yeah, this is what you did when you were a kid and you had a Sunday afternoon free. This is how you filled it up. You played Ghostbusters and a Tick Attack and Peter Shilton's Handball Maradona, which I guarantee you is a real game. And it's very little to do with either Peter Shilton or Maradona. It's just a goalie simulator, I think. This is European Player of the Year as well. Gary Lineker's European Player of the Year. Which I might have to break out at some point. I'm going to get slimed here. I'll try it. No. Someone's getting slimed. Let's see if there's one there. Now let's get to an actual shout. Not that it matters. We're on 14,500 now, so that's good. Okie dokie. At least we're guaranteed ghosts at this point, right? So either we get a trapped ghost and we have one more to go, or we've got to go back to the fire station because we've not got enough people. Your backup men, as they call them. Oh, so close. But I daren't risk it. I don't think we're going to get this one. No, we're not going to. Poo. What we are getting. Oh. So we better be ready with button B because he's on his way. It just said at the bottom. But it's fitting that we get him at the Ghostbusters fire station, so... There we go. Quick off the mark here. 2, 3, screen. There we are. We'll get some money for it. Hooray! And because there's a ghost right there, or there should be. Let's see if we can get that ghost. Meanwhile, we're seeing some very nice screens. There we go. Ah. This one I'm going to have to be very quick off the mark because my guy is facing the wrong way. That's annoying. It doesn't really make a difference. But I don't think I'm going to capture this ghost anyway. Come on. Pop in the funnel. I mean, I'm going to go to the firehouse straight away after this because I can. Can't be bothered waiting around for him. How annoying. Never mind. We move on. Okie dokie. Let's try again, shall we? I'd like to try and get up to 20,000. That'd be good. The problem is, at this stage of the game, you don't really want to be patient. You just want to get them. But they're more interested in dicking around at the side of the screen than actually doing what you want them to do. And it's a little bit annoying. Come on. Come on. Ah, there we are. Up yours. Gotcha. Let's see how much you pay. 16,500. Ooh, 900. That'll do. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. It's all kicking off now. I think this might be the last one before we have to go to see Zool. So hopefully they'll pay quite a bit of money. Okay. It's green. Appropriately enough. Come on. Come on, come on. You know you want to. Come on. Oh, it's so annoying. Oh, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower. I can't move the other one. You can in the Master System version. Oh, I've got him, got him, got him, got him. Get stuffed, get in that trap. Now then, let's see how much. Oh, 500. Is that it? It will tell me. Oh, when it's 9999. There we are. I think it's going to tell me after this one, you've got to go to Zool. Because Zool is the big bad guy. Not Gozer. Not anyone else. Not Shandor. Zool. The Zool. The Zool, they called it. Got to go to the Zool. Because they don't know what Zool is, because they've not seen the film. Sometimes, lads, we don't mind waiting a couple of years after a film comes out for you to do a decent version of a game. Or at least one that actually knows what it's on about. Because this didn't. Bless it. It's got the notion right. It's got the vague idea that it knows kind of what's going on. There's a Slimer involved that kind of looks like this. And they bust ghosts. No, it's not going to work. Oh, all right, mate. Oh. There we go. Oh, go to Zool. There we are. Sneak past the Marshmallow Man and close the portal. Okay, there we are. So we're on our way to the Zool. Go to Zool. Now, I think I know how to do it. I'm probably not going to be able to do it. I did it the other day on my own when nobody was watching. So I think you got to go here, and you just got to wait until he's not there. So it's there's one. No, that's it. All that, and that's the end. You've shit out. Zoola's taken over your city. You made more money than you started with. The bank will raise your credit limit to that. That's your new account number. Try again next time. And that is the end of the game. That's literally the end of the game. I don't think you're able to... No. That's it. You're not able to get out of it. You have to load it all again. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's all that reward... all that for relatively little reward. But it, at the end of the day, fills up the time. And that's basically what you were playing for. But anyway, more Spectrum games, I think, because that, for me at least, was fun. R.I.P. Sir Clive Sinclair. Thank you for producing a machine that could give us that, for rightly or wrongly. In the meantime, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye for now.